Hello, welcome back to Avenger. I did a video a while ago that showed more or less how I like to use it as something of an old analog head. And I created this little microbank of 16 arps patches, ARP patches, and cleverly, that's why it's called 16, they all use 16th arps, which I love. I'm a big fan of the old 16th arps, and look, is 16 more, which I've called 16.2. Which is sort of more of the same. I still love analog. I still love 16th arps. I've jumped the shark occasionally with this and varied it very slightly. You'll see as it goes on. There's, at least half the patches are bog standard 16th arps and some are others. I love programming a synth more than any other soft synth I have. It's really fun to program. So let's get on with it. I'm slightly lazy in that I'm not really using the macros, but I am doing all sorts of stuff on the mod wheel, which I've got my foot on here. I've got a pedal thing mapped to the mod wheel. So acid bath, as the name suggests, it goes like this with the mod wheel. Pumping heavily the compressor at the end there. And take a look down here if you're into programming. This gives you a clue of the kind of stuff that I've been doing on it. If you keep off the mod wheel, it stays off that ludicrous nonsense. There's quite a... in the next few patches, there's a few that do this sort of thing. I'll vary it more later, I promise. There we go. Arpressor. That's very straightforward, 16th. It's the kind of thing I really like. Not nearly as OTT as the last one. I wanted to have 2 or 3 that were just very straightforward. Should sit nicely in a mix. No fancy effects or anything. Now this is one that jumps the shark. There's a few that are a little more kind of slightly down the cinematic TV kind of work, which I do. I thought might be handy. Is that really 16th? I'm not sure that it is. But there you go. This thing here is cross-mod. I've been having fun with some of these patches playing with cross-mod, which uses an FM synthesis. As I put the mod wheel up, it goes up, where it uses this oscillator to muck around with this oscillator. And what I like doing, as you can see here, I'm modulating the second oscillator and using it as cross-mod first. You get some really nice effects doing that. Chest punch. If you turn this one up loud on speakers, it's really hits you in the chest. Clicky pulse. This is another more cinematic one again. With the mod wheel right up. I quite like that sort of ringing sensation there. Cut-off point, we're back into more analog stuff here. Right, yeah. So there's a few here where I've done some fancy things just because I wanted to play around with Avenger. So this is one where all sorts kicks off when I put the mod wheel up, and then I'll show you. So mod wheel fully up, and if I hit a low key, look at that! You set this stuff up, where is it? In the zones. Here come the zones, where you've got the drums here on the low octave, and it keeps just on that lowest octave. All the same, just a very simple kick and snare, just to give you a nice feeling, really. You probably wouldn't use it, you'd use your own drums. But that's very straightforward without all that going on. Bass and a higher arc come in on the mod wheel. How do I control that? Oh yeah. bass. Get a nice high stuff there. Giorgio swing. Thought I should have at least one swing patch in there. What's going on with the mod wheel there then, eh? Mod wheel. I haven't even bothered to delete that, have I? So lazy. Wavetable. An FM format morph wavetable, and I cycle through it on the mod wheel. And there's a little bit of movement going on all the time. I like a bit of movement. Love song. It's not exactly the same, but I was going for... There's a very old Simple Minds track that, if all you know about Simple Minds is the stadium rock, please get into their early albums. Suns and Fascination, Empires and Dance, and New Gold Dream. I love the synths in those albums. I love everything about those albums. The bass, it's just fantastic. And there's a song they did called Love Song that starts with an ARP that's pretty similar to this. It's kind of got this unstable thing going on that this is randomizing the pitch a little, and then we've got this cross mod going on again. Without that, sounds like that with the cross mod. Really like that. Marimba ARP, okay, just a little move away from analog for a moment. Varying the sample starts here. And useful sort of, you know, film, TV, tensiony kind of thing a little bit. Marauding. Oh yeah, this is kind of shameless. I was going for the I Feel Love kind of, some of the sweeps that they use on the ARP on that. Playing it very badly, you know. Mother Plucker. That sounds like it's going to be more impressive than it is. It's another... I think this is the last of the slightly more cinematic, but as you use the mod wheel here, the pitch just goes off it. That'll be good for building tension and things. Now, this is my favourite one, I think. There's a French film called Girlhood, out a couple of years ago. Check out the soundtrack to that. It's so good. And the film is fantastic. It's set in Paris, in sort of urban Paris, about a group of girlfriends. It really, really stuck in my mind. And the score is... So this is a Chordal ARP, right? But the score is just lovely, and it was a sort of an attempt for me to go near where... And it's a guy called Parawan did the score. A slight attempt to sound like that. This great big... Oh, I've got to hit it hard. I left some filter on the keyboard, so it's... If you press it quietly, it's gentle. Press it hard. Do you know what I'm doing wrong? I even give it a clue in the name. It's called Paragon 95, and I've called it 95 because it should sound like this. That sounds like it. I forgot. could play that all day. See that film. I love that film because it's that's not the score you would expect in the film that they're given. It works so well. Right, enough plugging for French films. Right, now I want to go back to 120. Sorry, I've got me Cubase tempo on another window. You can't see it. Right, what am I doing here? There you go, it is what it is. Skipper. Oh, this is another one that it all happens on. That's also a little bit like that love song ARP. It's kind of thin sound that I like, but this does different things. All these different things going on up here. Yeah, that's quite fun, isn't it? And finally, wheel alarm. That's another one that the name bigs it up. It's not a big, loud alarm, but it's kind of... I said I wasn't going to do any more cinematic ones, didn't I? But here it is. I can't remember how I did that myself. What's going on there? This little bells thing that's drowned in reverb or something, isn't it? Trash verb. Yeah, I like trash verb. It's a lot less kind of silky smooth EDM. There you go. Well, that's it. It's free. If you look in the description about the video, there should be a link to where you can download it. Don't give me any money. I don't want your money. I want your love. If you do like this, what can you do? You could go to me, just check out Spotify or YouTube After School Video Club, which is a little fun thing I do. A lot of synth stuff. It's kind of there's an 80s thing going on, but it's not slavishly 80s. Just a Kate Bush cover that you can hear behind me, hopefully, for running up that hill. And I'll just let it play for 3 seconds.
It doesn't hurt me. Do you wanna feel how it feels?
It's nice, isn't it? I'm one of 10 trillion people on Spotify, and you know, no one stops by very much. So if you did stop by to there or YouTube, I'll put a couple of links in there and say something nice. It'd make me day. That would be lovely. And then there's the soundboard.net, which is a forum I help run. If you like the idea of a forum that is a little, perhaps less shouty than some of the others, pretty diverse. We've got, you know, fans of classical music, electronic music, rock, just about everything. All life is there, but there's no advertising, there's no sponsorship, no one's going to flog you anything, and hopefully the odd signal to noise ratio is a bit higher than some places. So do check that out if you want as well. Alright, thank you for listening, and I'll be back on some other nonsense before long. Bye.